Jananim Sharadam Devim Ramakrishnan Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Shritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu. Sakhyam we saw as a part of the Navada Bhakti. Seeking company of God every moment, sharing life every moment with the God's company and being in the company of God as a eternal companionship, the Jiva moves, sharing every moment of life with Him, feeling His presence with Him, like two boys going to school and coming back, studying together, spending the days together. Sakhya, we saw. The most important part is life's every moment, everything happening, the emotional being, the joys and sorrows of life, what all happens, so many shocks, so many flowers and fruits of life, the joys and sorrows, every moment of life is shared with God. And free from the bonds of life, somebody to share, sharing is either side. God is giving confidence. God is giving, I am there with you. God is giving strength. God is giving His joy and bliss through His company. And life is a warfield He is passing through. In Sakhya, there is absolute sharing of one's soul and the Lord's Godhood and God share and the Jiva share, giving, holding on to God as his life's companion, internal companion, inner companion. The external life goes from birth to death and beyond. They are again one. In Sakhya, we see the last phase of the Navadha Bhakti, the young small boy who has heard from his teachers about Navadha Bhakti. Prahlada is telling his father, Hiranyakashipu, coming to the last part of the Navadha Bhakti, Atma Nivedana, surrendering the self, surrendering the self. I have surrendered everything. Last surrender is surrender of the self. I am going to give myself to the Lord's feet. I am going to place unconditionally forever. This is Atma Nivedana. When do we do Atma Nivedana? Anywhere, anytime in our life is under two conditions. One, I am completely helpless. I have lost all means. There is no stone I have not turned over, and I have not found fulfillment. And everywhere I am experiencing torture and helplessness. As a refuge, I take refuge. Wherever I go, I am exhausted, tired in life. I want peace. I want the joy I want freedom. Give me. I surrender to God. This surrender is refuge surrender. Refuge surrender is different. Refuge surrender is my total helpless condition. There is another surrender. Surrender of absolute fulfillment. I am paripurna. I have nothing more to achieve. I have got everything that I could. I am full. I am purna. And purna is going to merge in the purna. Is also the Atmanivedana. The purnatva. We see in case of Draupadi, she surrenders. Atmanivedana. We can clearly see in Draupadi's case. Atmanivedana. Last she comes to a stage where nobody can save her. Dhritarashtra is sitting, the king, whom she trusted in every way. Bhishma is there, helplessly sitting. And when Bhishma is not taking any action, who is supposed to take, the only person when all her husbands are captured, Bhishma also when she she asked Bhishma, what, you are sitting like this? You can defeat all the people who are here. And you are sitting, looking at me like in this condition. He says, I want time to decide what is dharma and adharma. Because king himself is sitting there and in his presence he is fully aware, though not he is having eyes, he is fully aware of what is happening. And you see, when all things fail to protect her, then she starts calling on God. Hey Krishna, Hey Krishna. And from there the help comes. This is Atmanivedana. Giving oneself totally, because not finding refuge anywhere, not finding help anywhere, not finding any kind of hope of ray of light from any direction. This is Atmanivedana. Another side, total fulfillment by which a soul surrenders. The Gopas and Gopis of Vrindavan give themselves when Krishna goes from Vrindavan. They were paripurna, last while parting also. Krishna reveals himself. See, Akrura is taking them. Many of them are following to the competitions that are kept in the Kamsa's palace. Something like a war field is going to be there. The two brothers. Akrura is taking them, and Akrura is fully in an intoxicated state while coming itself. We saw in the other part how he enters seeing the footprints, how he rolls on it, and how when he goes, the way in which Krishna receives him, he surrenders there totally. And this, Krishna is not satisfied with him just being the way in which he received, the devotion which he has got. The Krishna hugs him to his bosom. It is not, he is in total, he has lost himself Akrura has lost himself. Krishna is not satisfied with that. Oh, he deserves more, he deserves more, he deserves more. While going back from the, so many people, Gopis are following him. When Yamuna comes, he says, Balram and he requests him to stop for a while. We'll have the bath in. Yamuna is his most dearest thing. And Krishna gets down, goes for bath. Akrura is just watching them bathing, swimming in the waters. All Gopas and Gopis, their eyes are fixed. And they take bath and comes out. Akrura feels, I too should take a bath in Yamuna. Krishna says, oh, go and come. He leaves them, makes them sit in the chariot and goes to have bath. And he is having bath with a single dip. He sees Krishna and Balram are still in waters. He sees and wonders, I have left him there, and I come here to have bath. They are still here. He again dips and sees Krishna and Balram are there inside the water playing. He gets up, comes running and sees in the chariot both are sitting. Then he gets to, what did I see there? I am seeing them here physically sitting. Was that my Bhranti or what? He again runs to the Yamuna. He again gets down in the water and has a dip. And there he sees Krishna revealing his darshana. The Parama Purusha, the Supreme Reality, manifested as Krishna. He sees him as the Ananta Shayana. And just to see the Paripurnata. He knows everything now. The Supreme Lord, the absolute existence, which is taking care of the entire universe, he is here in there. With that Paripurnata he comes and falls at the feet of Krishna, having taken the bath. And this surrender, this self-surrender, is the surrender from the total fulfillment. I have nothing more to attain. I have touched the feet of Lord. I have touched the feet of dust of the Lord. I have rolled in it. And the ocean of bliss is in the ocean of bliss, Ananda Sagara. And imagine this Atma Nivedana and Atma Nivedana of the Draupadi. The total surrender is there. Again, coming to Bali Chakravarti, we see he knows, his Guru says, don't surrender, don't surrender, don't give. But he gives. Somebody is asking. He knows who has come. From his Guru's words also, he confirms. But he is intent on giving. And he asks for just 3 foot of land. With whole he covers the entire existence, and where to keep the third. He gives his hand. He knows what is going to happen. Here also you see Atma Samarpana. Total Atma. Because it is he who is going to lift him to the absolute fulfillment, Paripurnata. Here also we see a Atma Samarpana, and we see at every stage of the bhaktas, a kind of fulfillment is always there. With all that, we see in Arjuna's life, Bhagavad Gita, how much of constant struggle of life, living in the forest, hiding and living, all this they undergo. Just Krishna is there by side. An unknown understanding. Krishna is there with us, he is also there. The Purushakara, that I have to fight, I have to take revenge, I have to do this, I have to do that. Everything is there in the Arjuna also. Self-dependence, dependence on his own powers and capabilities are there. He knows Krishna to great extent, not as in the Bhagavad Gita. After getting the Vishwarupa Darshana during Bhagavad Gita ceremony also, we see Arjuna in a different phase, total surrender there. That surrender is a different, seeing Krishna's Vishwarupa, he totally surrenders there. With that surrender is created by tremendous fear. He is shivering, seeing the whole scene. All the Kauravas and many of the Pandavas are entering into things entering into the black hole. Everything is entering. He is possessed by fear and he surrenders there. But the surrender is not surrender of everything. The self is not surrender. All is out of fear. There is a surrender, but he still is possessing the idea, I am going to fight. He is encouraging you to fight. Then, by no means he can get fulfillment, paripurnata. He may win the war, but where is the fulfillment? Winning war, materialistic war, in the materialistic world means nothing. It has no meaning at all. See, he wants Arjuna to have the absolute fulfillment, and how to have that, give that absolute fulfillment. Total release from the entire bondage, all sufferings forever. He has to enter back the source as if. For that, he goes on continuing Bhakti Yoga, all this, Purushottama Yoga, all secrets of Jiva, Jagat and Ishvara. What is Ishvara? We see in Bhagavad Gita, wherever I comes of the Krishna, it is not Yashodakanda or Devaki Putra. He is not the Gopi's Gopa. He is the absolute, the Ishvara, the Lord of the universe, speaking every moment to Arjuna. And goes on extending. He opens up the universe and shows what it is. In reality, what are the natures of people? Everything, every bit regarding Jiva, Jagat and Ishvara, he tells. Last comes to the 18th chapter. There he says, one shloka, which is called Charama Shloka, the ultimate supreme teaching, by which the Jiva entirely transcends the nature and lands in the absolute, the ocean of bliss, peace, love, absolute. And there we see Krishna is telling, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. Sarva Dharman Parityajya. What all I have told you, do this, this will happen, that will happen. All so many things are, give up all that. Now surrender to me. Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Bhaja. To me alone, you surrender to me. Me is there, that me is capital M, the Supreme Lord of the universe, and beyond is the absolute impersonal being who has appeared as the Krishna. The impersonal absolute becomes the personal God at the universal level, cosmic level, and we see him appearing as the avatara for the sake of the humans and all jivas and for redemption of the jivas. And we see he is telling him, Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja Aham Tva Sarvapapebhyo Mokshayishyami Ma Shucha. Now you see this, what is that Atma Nivedana, Atma Samarpana? One day, one moment or the other, one day or the other, you have to yield to the Lord. Give your all to Lord unconditionally. And as we go ahead, we see that with that alone the total fulfillment, that paripurnata comes into our life. Absolute paripurnata, where because of the paripurnata, I give myself to God, Atma Nivedana. We see in Vali's life, Vali fights. He has got that ego. He came to serve Rama. Unimaginable powers were given to him to help Rama. But he misuses it. And Rama, when he hits the arrow, falls. And last, he argues with Rama. And finally, the last moments are nearing, he offers his family and all the powers to Rama, including his son. Take him, he released me. Here you see the surrender. Here you see the surrender of paripurnata, not the helplessness. All that I have to get in my life, I have got now. After handing over the son, Angada, to Rama, his heart is full. Nothing lacking anymore. With the fall of the body, he merges in the Lord. This paripurnata samarpana is the actual nivedana of the bhakti. In bhakti, Atma Nivedana is a state of paripurnata. Bali, after he goes, after Lord keeps his feet on the head and pushes him down, he says to Lord, O Lord, we become, in Bhagavata it comes, we become blind out of wealth, out of power, out of all things that you have given us. We become. Our pride, mother, blinds our eyes, and compassionate you destroy our ego and give back our eyes. The eyes, we become blind, and out of compassion on us, you destroy our ego and give back our eyes. Those eyes see the Lord in all aspects and feels that paripurnata in the world. In himself, the absolute paripurnata is experienced. I am Purna. I don't lack anything. that Paripurnata is experienced in the, you see the words, we become blind and you come to remove our blindness and gives you this, the eyes of Paripurnata. When Ravana leaves the body being killed by Rama, last when he's leaving the body, he looks at the Rama standing before. Oh, what all I fought, what all I did, what all injustice I did, abducting Sita herself. With all that, it has ended in the beautiful fulfillment. I am Purna. Lord, take me in your arms now. Take me in your arms. That the last leaving the body, that person attains, whom all people may consider as the most heinous sinner, because he has taken away the Sita. To him, that Paripurnata comes, you see, in the last moment. And that soul leaving that body, joyfully, his ocean of bliss now, Ananda Sagara himself, merges in the Ananda Sagara. The last moment you see that surrender, Atmanivedana. Rama, I have done with all things. I have attained that Paripurnata. All that had to go away from him, all that has to be released from him, has been released. And the soul enters. The whole play is over. The purpose was only that one. Same thing happens to Kamsa, Krishna Avatar. That Kamsa leaves the body out of absolute Paripurnata. We again remember the words of Bali in Bhagavata, that we become blind because of the power you have given us, because of the wealth you have given us, because of the strength you have given us, and you come back out of compassion to remove that pride, to remove that ego, to destroy that ego, and give us back the fulfillment. The fulfillment is such a fulfillment, it is Paripurnata with which the self is offered to. The self is offered. This is Atma Nivedana. The last, the Kamsas, Ravanas, Balis, and all you see, it is the same Akruras, Paripurnata, what he got through ecstatic divine love, same Paripurnata, these people also give. This is also Atma Nivedana, as much as Atma Nivedana of the Akrura. So, this is the whole setup, the last. If we see from the early, the Navada Bhakti, in Navada Bhakti we see Shravana singing the names of, singing the names of glories of God. We get that seed of bhakti, love of God. In that is the Paripurnata, the Atmanivedana seed is got from the Shravana. And as we grow, with the love that we pour is water. It gets germinated in hearing the Leela of the Lord. Namasmarana becomes, in hearing the Lord's name, it germinates. We put the water of love and we offer the whatever worship we do. Worship is and jnana, mixed worship, we are as if we are giving fertilizers to it. It grows into plant. We see plant in our contemplation of the Lord's. We are getting now and then thinking of Lord, contemplating on His life and things. It is getting plant. And in meditation, it grows into a tree. Our devotion and beautiful flowers, samadhi, and last the fruits come, the fruit of fulfillment, the paripurnata. I got it. And that is the fruit that is offered back to the Lord, who Navada Bhakti, that offering that fruit of absolute fulfillment, the paripurnata. I am purna, I don't need anything more. That fruit is the Atma Samarpana. It is last, Atma Nivedana. Atma Nivedana is the fruit of the whole from Navada Bhakti, from beginning Shravana onwards. The whole thing is offered in the Atma Nivedana. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.